Hello there, peoples. Welcome to my new little series. I, number one, gave myself a bonus chest, because why the hell not? And, as you can already see, special things. I basically did this, so, let's change this here. Utility, global. Ugh, I hate it when it does that. Why does it do that? There we go. Okay. Anywho, while I do some basic beginning bullshit, I think I'm going to tell you kind of why I've done things the way I have. My, mod pack that I was playing with on the last series was honestly kind of a hodgepodge. It was... It came from a relatively working base. There were a few issues here and there, mostly just, you know, mods acting up like they do. And, you know, just kind of being annoying otherwise. So, actually, I'm going to turn this to peaceful while I do this, so I won't be distracted and or killed by monsters on my first friggin' day, because that would be embarrassing. Anywho, the mod pack on which I was originally playing was becoming less and less stable. The more updates I added, the more things I needed to change, and the more things I needed to change because of that, and it was starting to cascade. And as you could no doubt see in the latter videos, you know, things like mechanism not working with RF anymore and other such bugs kind of honestly just killed things a lot. So I have decided to go another route. I am playing, as you can no doubt tell from the video title, I am playing a modified version of FTB Infinity. Now, what have I got in this mod that makes it a modified version? Well, to start off, I've got things like, most notably, Rika's mods, Rotarycraft, Chromaticraft. As you can see, once I break this, because I don't want to, yeah. These from Chromaticraft. And, of course, Reactor and Electrocraft as well. I got those mostly because, you know, why the hell not? I've never played with Chromaticraft before. It sounds fun. And dangerous, from what I've read. Sounds quite... Oh, hello. Speaking of, there's a Chromaticraft, thinger there. Biome idiot. My god. But yeah. You know, I've added Rika's mods in. I'm working with FTB Infinity version 1.2.1 because I'm playing on a server that happens to have, or that happens to be playing that version, and thus, you know, I'm familiar with all its little quirks and the strange, you know, occasional bits of strangeness. And it's, from my experience, reasonably stable. It was kind of a pain in the ass to get things like, Mechanism 8 I have is a actually quite a recent thing. I have Mechanism 8 installed as well. I also have something I haven't played with in a while. I don't think I've played with this since 1.6. It is Metallurgy 4, adding nice, you know, nice new ores and crap, making new tools and things like that. Also adds some very useful things. Ooh, hello, flowers. Lots of flowers. I don't know what they are. Anywho, you know, this looks like a decent place to build. From what I remember, these forests tend to be relatively safe, so I don't have to worry about getting gang raped by mobs here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of set up base here. I got some acacia. And I'm just gonna kinda do this. Anywho, I've got metallurgy installed, which, for those of you who don't know, is, I don't want to say it's an add-on to Tinker's Construct, but extra TIC, which is also in normal FTB Infinity, adds different parts, I believe, for all the metals and crap, like you see here, Atlaris and Hepatizon and Selenagil and Deschalcos and things like that. So, you know, relatively useful little thing, and adds some nice variety to, you know, to Tinker's Construct, which can get kind of dull if you know, always know what you're doing. Because vanilla Tinker's Construct is mostly just kind of a rush toward towards Cobalt. Not to rag on Tinker's Construct, it's a great mod, don't get me wrong, but it, you know, extra tick with you know, metallurgy adds a bit more length to it, you know? Kind of like those weird ads you get on, you know, you get online, you know, add length and girth and other such things. So yeah, it makes Tinker's Construct last a little bit longer because I think certain blocks are kind of hard to get before you got you know, Cobalt or Manulin or something like that. So it makes things take more time, which I don't really mind all that much. I don't mind my experience taking you know, having more to it. I just mind it being, you know, forced into being much longer. So yeah, I think that's all that I've added, really. Let me look at the Google Doc. Let's see here. We've got also better chests, because, you know, that's a great mod. I haven't added magical crops. I've done a change to agricraft, to the config there, because FTB Infinity doesn't allow agricraft to do the whole, you know, resource farming, basically. But I've changed that to where you can, so it'll kind of supplant what I was mostly going into, you know, magical crops for in the first place, so, you know, why the hell not? Anywho, as you can also see, another one bites the dust too, and I think it was applied energistics have been upgraded as well, and those have been added mostly to fix crash issues, like especially oh bloody hell, what is it? You know, the thing with the import and export buses, you know, that one. That didn't really want to work very well with things like mechanism and thalamic energistics. They just weren't wanting to talk to one another, and I don't particularly like that, so I decided to fix it. Birdie. So, and we've also got, as you can tell by my mini-map, I've got effing Opus back. Yes, I am happy. Don't get me wrong, I like the other mini-map, whatever the hell it was that I used, but I'm just partial to Opus. Because it's simple, easy to use, and it has an effing zoomable map. Look at this. Ignore that bit, that's from a last... I tried... Oh, shut the hell up, Avast. I set this world up earlier. I tried to create it. What the hell? Actually, let me get my book. So I think having my Chromatocraft book with me is a good idea. And I know I spawned with it. There it is, the Chromatic Lexicon. Or Chromic, or whatever. entry-level stuff. Oh. But yeah, I've done that. And that's a thing over there. I think it's a chromatocraft thing. Let's go look, shall we? So, yeah, I've kind of added all those in, and I'm not sure if I'll add anything else extra in. I don't really know at the moment. I think there's another thing over there, too. Cool. So, yeah, that is all nice and stuff. I like, the big problem I had with FTB Infinity is that, or Vanilla Infinity, as it was, with Vanilla Infinity is that it claims to be this whole, you know, oh, what is it? A kitchen sink pack. You know, everything up to and including the kitchen sink. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not sure if I'm supposed to get zapped with this or what, but... Ow! Ow! Okay, okay. I'm going away now. Whee! See what I tell you, it's dangerous and fun. But it lacks a lot of the stuff that Monster had. Like, FTB Infinity was supposed to be, you know, the big successor to Monster and things like that, but honestly, it just doesn't have as much content as Monster did. Which is sad, because I liked Monster a lot. Monster had some really good stuff in it. Which is a definite plus. Gives you plenty to play with, plenty of things to do. And it made life cool. And... Whoa! Okay, I'm getting the hell away from that. That looks dangerous. But yeah, you know, supposed to be like, oh yeah, it's like Monster, but better, or something like that. And it turned out to be like Monster Light. Number 1, no Reikos mods. Number 2, no better chests. Number 3, you know, it was mostly just, you know, the standard FTB crap you've been getting for a long time. You know, you got your thermal expansion, you got your, what the hell is that other thing? You know, the one with big reactors. You got that, you got IC2, which honestly I don't particularly give a shit about. And you know, you got all that, but there's nothing really new there. I haven't really experienced much in the way of new content outside one of the nice little mods that this thing comes with, Draconic Evolution. That's actually pretty interesting and scary as hell. At least when you get to certain bits in it. Because it's got some mobs that are, you know, obscenely dangerous. And, you know, not exactly fun to fight, because, well, you see, there's a thing in Draconic Evolution called the Chaos Guardian. It exists at any multiple of 10,000, you know, coordinate-wise, in the end. And, you know, to get there, you have to be able to fly in the first place, and blah, 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 blah. And it just... deep on. And it, you know, it sounds like, oh, okay, a new Ender Dragon or something like that. You gotta face it, and then it hits you. Like, physically, it hits you. And if you don't have some heart containers or something, like I had 5 yellow heart containers from Tinker's Construct. And each one of those gives you an extra heart to play with. And I had the Flux Infused Jet Plates from Simply Jetpacks on, all fully charged and all that happy shit. And it took me down to 3.5 hearts in one hit. So yeah, pretty goddamn dangerous. Not exactly something you want to be screwing around with. So there's definitely a challenge there, and I don't mind that. I really don't. Because challenge in that regard is okay. But the thing is, the thing I'm talking about, the Chaos Guardian thingy, it does void damage. Like the damage you take when you go into the void. You know, beneath bedrock and all that good shit. So, yeah, it's a fun little critter, for lack of a better word. It's fun like Dwarf Fortress fun, only better. Which I know makes exactly no sense, but if and when we get to it, you'll understand. So I think that's about it for introductions and explanations and all that happy crap. So I'm going to be breaking a couple of things, doing some mining, and generally boring crap. So I shall pause this here once I am done doing what I do best, and I shall catch you guys in just a couple of minutes. And I return! We have new things! Actually, let's get 1, 2, 3. I only need 2 sticks for this, not 3. I found some infuscolium. Which is this thing, infuscolium ore for metallurgy. However, infuscolium can't be used to really make anything, unless you have deep iron, which I believe I found some earlier. You can combine those to make deep black steel dust, which you can then melt into black steel ingots and make into black steel thingamajiggers. Armor and tools and weaponry. Generally useful things. Now then, question is, where the hell is it? I think it was actually closer to spawn, so I know I'm cheating like hell here, but quite honestly, I know, ooh, pretty. I don't give a shit. So, yeah. Expect to see that every once in a while, because sometimes I just don't care. And besides which, if I were going to be cheating, I'd be cheating a lot worse than that, let me tell you. Bugger off. There should be around here somewhere. Yeah, I wonder if it tells you, because 0.62, focus pink. Ah, yes it does. Origin, see? This is one of the best things about new NEI. That you can see sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you can see where certain ores will spawn, or where they best spawn at. So like deep iron is 65, I think diamond is like 13. Things like that. Generally very useful information. Things that you can use to kind of target your mining and whatnot, so you only really get what you want. Which is something that, is good. We don't want to get, we want to minimize the amount of garbage we get. Let's put it like that. So the less garbage we get, the better. And so on and so forth. And there's one of actually I think that's the one I ran into earlier that zapped me. So yeah, we're going to kind of steer a little clear of that. Those things are kind of freaking dangerous. At least until you can tame them. I know you can, I just don't know how yet. Both in game terms and in my actual personal knowledge. Chromatocraft is one thing with which I have pretty much no experience. Honestly, I don't mind that so much. I don't mind not knowing things about mods. That's what makes new mods and such fun. I like that. What are these anyway? Those? Oh yeah, ethereal blooms from Thumbcraft. Another useful little feature of these rainbow forests is that they can be configured, at least, like they are configured by default to spawn taint cleaning plants. Ethereal blooms, basically. Which is something we definitely want. And from what I recall, these things are also immune, or these biomes are also immune to taint. And we've got another pylon here. Pretty. And also, what the hell is all that in the distance? I don't know. That's... One thing I gotta give Reka definite props for is how awesome friggin' Chromatocraft looks. It looks cool. It looks impressive as hell. And so does not falling down that like a dumbass. Boing. Silver, no. What's that look like again? Okay. It's kind of like tungsten from old, oh, what do you call it? Red power, there we go. It's sad that that never saw the light of day again after like 1.4. Because I really liked old red power. Promethium, can I use to make whatnot? Yes, I can. Why the hell not? It's here. It's useful. Why not use it? I can wait for the deep iron, and I'll mine this iron too. The regular iron. If you could hear that, please ignore that. That was the sound of one of the tenants that lives in the apartment complex that happens to own a Camaro, and admittedly, a cool-looking car, but I think he tuned his exhaust a little. And as anyone worth a damn who knows anything about cars knows, tuning your exhaust is the sign of a pussy. Let's see here. That's saltpeter. That is mithril. Ooh, pretty. It has particle effects now. Nice. I like metallurgy. I really did miss it. Because all the nice little things that metallurgy adds, it's just, there's nothing else that makes the world pretty. And I like a nice pretty world. I mean, I may not build particularly pretty, but damn it, I like my world looking good. Oh, another thing you guys might possibly be wondering about is what the hell took me so long to get to this point in the first place? Well, a combination of things. Number one, school. School has been sucking up an inordinate amount of my time. In fact, I have a test that I actually should get to at some point today in statistics, which, you know, not passing that class isn't exactly an option. Although I think technically I can drop 2 tests and all that, but, you know, I'd rather save that for a test that, you know, I legitimately screwed up on. Ooh, textile gardens. Those are going to be useful. And I can just pick those up instead of having to deal with the seeds and the drops and all that garbage. Thus saving me some time and space, which is good. But yeah, number one was school. And school is still kind of kicking my ass. But it's kicking less of my ass than it was, so I figured I'd reboot things a little bit and all that good shit. So let's pop up here. Boing. Ooh, platinum. Pretty. Now then, this is another thing you'll notice in the world with Chromatocraft. These actually used to be a part of, damn it, I knew the name of this mod. Geostrata. They are potion crystals, basically, when you're around them, they give you little potion effects. Like the greens give you jump boost, those gives you haste, as in digging haste. And you can use those crystals eventually, once you've done the research and all the discovery and all that, to make, make useful things. Like crystals that have enhanced versions of those effects, and so on and so forth. So we're going to be grabbing those. Not even going to try to pronounce that ore's name. That is one thing about some of the metallurgy ores. Their names are damn near impronounceable. And I'm usually reasonably good with being able to pronounce strange things, but I'll be damned if I know how to pronounce some of this crap. But yeah, so yeah, number 2 was that. Number 3 is just, I've been, and still am, on a server, an FTB Infinity server, actually, called, and, if you want to join the server, it's a whitelist server and all that good crap, so, you gotta put in an app and all that. If you're under 18, they're not gonna accept you. Just FYI. I've been on a server called Feed the Machine, which is an FTB Infinity 121 server, which is where I learned how much, I wanted to work with Infinity, and honestly, how much Infinity kind of misses. So, we're gonna get ourselves a quartz grindstone. For that, we're gonna need a wood gear. Wood gear, 3 stone, 2 cobblestone. 3 stones, so just use 2 of these. And I don't even have a damned furnace built, because I'm an idiot. But you knew that. So, we'll get that. Boing! There we go. And hey, what's that? That's a furnace! So we're going to put our wood in there, melt that down. Going to make ourselves a gear. And that is why those are useful. Cotton. I've been playing with that in the Feed the Machine server, and combined with Agricraft, cotton can be downright effing broken. And by broken, I mean, like, just, completely unbalanced. Although, I wouldn't say completely, just, you know what the hell I mean. It can be easily abused. There we go. And that's one of the reasons I love it, is that, you upgrade it enough, it becomes awesome. Which is something we all want. We all want our stuff to become awesome. There we go. So now that we've got that, we'll put our... What do we want to make our tools out of? Osmium. No, I want to save that for mechanism. I'll make it out of the promethium. So, yeah. That's kind of been taking up a lot of my time. Not that I mind it, really. It's a good server with decent people and all of that. And it's good to play with somebody other than yourself. It's relaxing, it's calming, and all that good shit. It makes... I don't want to say it makes life worth living, but it certainly helps make it worth living. And, being with... What the hell? Turn, damn you, turn! Being with other people helps expose you to new ideas and all that, and honestly helps me show off a little bit. I like that. I like being able to show off. Showing off for you guys is one thing. Showing off for other people, very few things are more enjoyable than that. I just want to get that out of the way right now. That's one of the things I really enjoy. I really enjoy showing off some of the stuff that I know. Yeah, it's kind of juvenile and kind of stupid, but you know what? After all the BS I've been put through in my life and all that other fun shit nobody really cares about, I think I deserve a little petty behavior, I think I am allowed the ability to just be a bit petty. What the shit? There we go. Iron. So it is at least iron level. That is good. Honestly, I think I might be kind of wearing this episode a bit thin with time. So I am actually going to quit here. If any of you guys watching this want to see the server on which I play and all that happy crap, just tell me, and I will see if the admin's okay with that. He more than likely would be, but I figure why not ask? It's only the polite thing to do, And one person you don't want to piss off is your admin. That's not necessarily a good thing to do. In fact, typically it's a stupid thing to do. But yeah, I really don't want to piss off my admin and be like, why the hell are you doing this? You're not supposed to be talking about the server, or, displaying it or anything like that. So yeah. So I've got some basic things, hooray! And I've got some Promethium, and we know what we're going to be playing with today, or for this series. Again, the previous series is unfortunately just gone. There's just no chance for it to come back because it was just too much bullshit to deal with. I'm trying to get things into even a semi-working state would have been, I don't want to say impossible. I mean, certainly it would have been possible. It would have just been incredibly goddamn painful because there's a lot of mods in there and there's a lot that can screw up. So, until further notice, Series 1 of my LP or my original LP is just done. I don't have the stamina for it anymore. I know the, 2 people watching this are probably going to be a bit disappointed, but honestly, there's not much I can do when when things are becoming too much of a pain in the ass to handle, and you don't want to end up doing something like that where you don't enjoy it anymore. It gets really goddamn draining, and that's what basically happened. It got draining, really draining. So yeah, I'm not going to be doing that one anymore. But I'll be doing this. So hey, good news, bad news, and otherwise just regular old damn news. So, enough with my waffling. I shall see you guys next episode where I do more things. And, maybe make machines. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I shall catch you guys later, and never forget to have fun.